Another week, boys, and another TWAB. This week in Destiny, we have been playing Iron Banner and finished tons of triumphs and challenges from episodes Echoes. So now we are ready to start sharing more about what's to come with episode Revenant. Our next content drop arriving on October the 8th. Are you ready for it? Dun, dun, dun. All right, so new dev insight next week. Improved rewards for Nightfalls and Lost Sectors. Let's talk power band increases, okay? A preview of the next big ability update. NERF limited Ace of Spades Blaster early access. Our first art show is a success. Bungie Foundation at Twitchcon, and chill with us in orbit. Let the TWID begin. All right, now save the date. Next week's dev insights. Oh, we're already getting another one. Okay. We told you we would have more dev insights in the coming weeks, and we really meant it. On Wednesday, September 25th, we will have a new article delivered directly by the Destiny 2 developers and focus on answering some questions you all have about Codename Frontiers. Patience is a virtue, so for now, visit our hub article and give our previous 3 articles a read. I was expecting us not to get anything for a while, considering they just rolled out the beginning part of what's to come next year and the content rollout for that. But they're already hitting us with something else. Okay. All right. Good stuff. Upcoming rewards changes. And now let's talk about some of the changes coming with episode Revenant, which is launching on October the 8th. We leave you in incredibly capable hands of the Destiny 2 dev team. Morning all economy team here with some updates focused on Nightfalls and Lost Sector rewards. First, the drop chances for non-adept weapons have been increased in Advanced, Expert, and Master Nightfalls when earning Platinum and Gold tier upon completion. With this change, non-adept Nightfall weapons are now guaranteed to drop when completing a Platinum run in a Master Nightfall, and a 50% chance to drop if it's a Gold completion. In addition, adept weapon drops from Grandmaster Nightfalls have been slightly increased when getting Gold completions, although Platinum remains the best course of action for earning them as completion guarantees a drop. All right, so the lower tiers, not only the lower tiers like Gold is going to give you a higher chance of getting a drop, but even below GMs. How do y'all feel about this? Who even does those? New players. I would say new players. I would say people that may not have a dedicated fire team. Maybe people feel more comfortable going into the Advanced, Expert, and Master Nightfalls over the GM version. Not everybody's running GMs, you know? I'm not going to lie. That's completely fine. That's completely fine, guys. I think that it's not GM or bust. You don't have to run a Grandmaster Nightfall. And this is going to be more rewarding for you guys. So, and it has no effect on us and GMs. If anything, if you do get Gold completions, then we have a slightly higher chance of getting an adept weapon drop. Now, Nightfall focusing. Zavala's focus decoding has also received a minor update in regard to Nightfall weapons. The weekly feature Nightfall weapon and the adept version of said weapon have been moved to a new featured category with updated costs. Weekly feature Nightfall weapon, 1 Vanguard Ingram, 1 Nightfall Cypher. Weekly feature adept Nightfall weapon, 1 Vanguard Ingram, 50,000 Glimmer, 10 Nightfall Cyphers. Okay, so the weekly featured weapon, just like it is now. What's the difference here? What's the weekly Nightfall weapon require now to focus? Oh, that's right. It would cost 3 to 5 Ingrams. Okay, yes. So that's way cheaper on that front. Yeah, I thought they may have changed the Cypher cost here, but that's still 10 here on the Adept. All right, now Lost Sector rewards finally starting in Revenant. The role pool weapons will be farmable in Lost Sectors the very season they are added to the game. Previously, players had to wait until the next season or episode launched to obtain them this way. Lost Sector weapons availability will continue to rotate daily with the table below showing the rotation for Revenant. Again, this was always previously was a season behind, but now it's going to be when the season launches. So Group 1, Redacted, Yarovitz, Truth Teller, Rasa Rago. There we go. Group 2, Dead Grimmar, Adverse Possession, Marcado. Group 3, Redacted, Mahis. Good. Controlling Vision, Crux, Termination. Group 4, Suspectum. We're actually going to be reviewing this linear fusion rifle very soon, guys. Domino and Parabellum. Power band increasing in next episode. And now, our power system experts take the room to share an update on power band increases in Revenant. Hey all, with the final shape, we introduced a wonderful feature called Fireteam Power with the goal of making it so friends could always play together no matter what the power level is. We've been very happy with Fireteam Power and how it's removed the power barrier that was previously preventing players of different engagement levels from playing together. With this improvement in place, we're revisiting some of our previous decisions that sought to achieve the same goal, namely power band increases. Before the Lightfall expansion, increasing power caps by 10 each season provided new goals for in-game players to aspire to and added value to completing pinnacle activities such as raids and dungeons. Fireteam Power will still be there so friends can always play together, even if some players choose not to pursue the new power caps. So starting on October the 8th with Revenant, and again in the next episode, we'll once more be increasing power caps by 10 to return that pursuit to in-game players. The resulting power bands of Revenant will be Power Floor 1900, Soft Cap 1950, Powerful Cap 2000, hard cap, pinnacle cap, 2010. Holy garbage change? What's wrong with y'all? What do you mean massive L? Just why though? To incentivize grinding for more stuff. It's a boring mechanic. Y'all know most games have a seasonal refresh where everything gets fucking wiped. Y'all know that? There are like a lot of games that have that. You guys are crying over 10 levels. Dude, back in my day, we used to get hundreds of levels increase. Plus, hold on. This isn't like a 3-month season. It's a 4-month long season. We're fine, man. Most of us are probably going to hit that shit, no problem. I think the issue really, the only issue I have with all of this is upgrade modules. We're going to do something about that, Bungie. There needs to be some way, like, can I just say this? Is there a way that I could spin 100? I know we can't even hold 100 upgrade modules, but is there a way I can hold, I could spin 100 upgrade modules on my vaults? There's like a little chamber and I put 100 upgrade modules into it and it levels up everything in my vaults to the max cap. Like once you reach 2010, is there a way I could just feed upgrade modules into the vault and everything gets leveled up? Make it cost glimmer or whatever else. And maybe you just have to like contribute upgrade modules over time. Like you're like, all right, I got 5, I'll give you 5. I got 4 or 5 more. You know where I'm coming from? Oh my God, that takes us to the next thing. Imagine if you could buy more vault space with upgrade modules. 10 more vault spaces for 100 upgrade modules. Dude, I would farm day and night. You hear me, chat? We would farm nonstop. Can you imagine? I would non-stop farm. Every chance I got, we would be getting glimmer, upgrade modules. We would be injecting that thing. Even if it's only for 10 more slots, I'd do it. That would be such a long-term grind. All right. Titans week in Destiny. Last but not least, our sandbox team has a hefty update on abilities with a focus on Titans. But remember, all our Guardians are perfect and equally loved, whether they wear shoulder pads the size of a stadium, owe you glimmer that you know is lost forever, or they lecture you about Vex portals on your way to your row. But dude, this dig right now at Hunters is amazing. And you know it's true. Howdy, folks. Combat Gameplay Team here with a preview of what to expect with the launch of Revenant. It's been a minute since our last article back in May, and since then, we've seen the launch of prismatic subclasses, which seismically shifted the sandbox landscape. From multiple Warlock buddies to Diamond Lances as far as the eye can see, we've been extremely pleased to watch players push Prismatic to its limits as they combine gameplay atoms in ways that weren't possible before the final shape. Now that the Prismatic subclasses have had time to settle, we're making some adjustments. We've collected a mixture of player feedback and game data about abilities across the sandbox, and we have a slew of ability changes coming from both Prismatic and non-Prismatic subclasses alike. We'll cover most of these season's ability changes in this write-up, but you can read the full patch notes when Revenant launches. Today, we're going to focus on Titan class identity reinforcement, super ability changes, general ability tuning. So let's get right into it. Oh my God, we're doing it. We're rolling right into this. Okay, Unbreakable Will. Titans are the bulwarks of the fire team. They live and die in the front line of battle, barking out orders while never backing down from an encounter. Titans wield defensive staples like Barricade and Stasis Crystals with practice ease. They specialize in doling out life-saving buffs like Void Overshield and Woven Mail to the grateful fire teams, and they throw a mean right hook to boot. But Titans deserve a class identity that's more than just a sum of its fists. We've heard your cries for more depth to the Titan gameplay, more viability and higher tier in-game content, and we agree with you. Titans have so much more to give than mere blunt force trauma. They're frontliners, damage mitigators, and battlefield commanders. You damn right. God. Who's writing this shit? Now, we don't want to take away from or replace what the Titans already has. Instead, we want to find non-destructive ways to add depth to the Titans kit. These kind of shifts take time, but we're starting down that road in Revenant. I want every other class to read this. Hunters and Warlocks, I want you to read this shit. These are the things you are not. As much as they are the things that we are, these are the things you are not. Frontliners, damage mitigators, commanders. All right. Starting with Revenant, we're testing a change to barricades and other shields that will give the Titan more of a traditional tank role. Titan barricades now taunt enemies in front of the barricade. This taunt only occurs while there is a player standing behind the barricade. This is a substantial change for Titans and for Destiny. For the first time, Titan players can use their defensive abilities to draw enemy fire, thereby shielding their fire team from harm. What in the MMO is this shit? Are we actually becoming fucking tanks right now? Dude, if we get an exotic in the future that allows us to wield, like to throw the barricade down and then beat the barricade for that extra taunt, for that over-aggressive taunt. The Titan's Unbreakable Shield and Sentinel Shield Guard also taunts enemies, allowing you to become a mobile aggro magnet. If this change plays well, we're hoping to add this functionality to more of the Titan defensive abilities, such as Ward of Dawn in the future. Dude, look at this. we're getting more distinct roles here. While enemies will typically prioritize bringing down the barricade above all else, there are combat situations where combatants may have higher priorities than the barricade, such as a Vex Wyvern with a directive to march toward a conflict, or a Cabal Legionary desperately trying to bring down a Guardian and their super. The barricade taunt doesn't turn enemies into mindless zombies, and enemies who are on a mission may prioritize that mission over the barricade. But for the general rank and file enemies you see in activities from patrols to raids, this has been quite fun in our playtest. One important detail about this change is that combatants now shoot at the barricades itself instead of at a Guardians behind the barricade, making aiming at enemies from behind your barricade safer than before. We'll be monitoring this change closely, and you can expect tweaks in the future as we see these changes play out. I'm curious to know how this would work with like Hoarfrost as well, right? Probably the exact same way, I would assume, with Hoarfrost, because it's still a barricade, right? Now, to support the Titan's new aggro lifestyle, we've made some adjustments to barricades and Unbreakable, Towering Barricade, and Rally Barricade, all subclasses. Reduce non-boss combatant damage dealt to the barricade by 50%. Increase splash damage reduction from combatants for players behind the barricade from 20 to 60%. Barricades now grant moderate damage resistance versus combatants during cast animation. Now, Unbreakable. Damage blocked by Unbreakable now generates grenade energy. Good. Increased max duration the shield can be held. Good. Forward movement speed and now slows down briefly when the shield is shot. Okay. Reduce Unbreakable's throw attack damage versus player by 20%. Okay. Increase damage bleed through from players by 15%. And fully charged Unbreakable attack will now one-shot barricades in PvP, except when the barricade is under the effects of Heart of Endless Lights. Interesting. Okay. So I'm surprised how many things are PvP related right here. All right. So really what this comes down to right on this one is like how much energy we're talking about, right? Now, while we're here on Unbreakable and Titans, we should mention Void Overshield. This is a staple of the Sentinel kits, and we think it could use a little help in PvE to better compete with other damage mitigation options. So Void Overshield. Increase Void Overshield PV damage resistance from 50 to 70%. This increases maximum effective HP from 90 to 150. Very good. I would say like Woven Mail and Frost Armor for me is kind of outside of synergizing with the artifact has trumped Void Overshields for me. So this is good. Titans are eating, man. By the way, like this affects every Void Overshield. Anything that can give you a Void Overshield. It's not just you know, like Repulsor Brace and stuff like that, right? Now, next up, Prismatic Titan. While Prismatic Titans will inherit all applicable changes to Barricade, Unbreakable, and Sentinel Shield, we're also buffing several other Titan abilities featured in the Prismatic Titan subclass. These changes are global, meaning that they are applicable to both the ability standard subclass and Prismatic. Okay, so overlapping. So Consecration, Scorch, and Slam Waves now shatter stasis crystals. All right, maybe this is when it actually works. So this was supposed to be already in effect. Something happened. It had issues. And of course, not worked correctly, or at least not all the time. Hopefully now it worked. Now, Diamond Lance. Thrown or slam Diamond Lances will now shatter stasis crystals. Slamming a Diamond Lance will grant you and nearby allies 2 stacks of Frost Armor. Change the weapon tray HUD to display how many seconds are remaining before Diamond Lance disappears. Like a Tangle. Good. Excellent. Knockout. Melee kills now cancel health and shield stun in addition to healing, allowing you to immediately start regenerating. Note, this is a revert of previous nerf that had too much of a negative impact on PvE. All right. So you don't have to rock the fragment that gives you your health back on melee kills. You can just flat out rock Knockout. Oh my god, dude, I've been fully bricked since the very beginning. Since the moment I saw Taunt, these pants immediately tightened up big time. Shiver Strike now attaches a stasis explosive to the target on impact. This detonation slows players and freezes combatants. Now refunds 80% melee energy on whiff. Increased energy recharge rate by 12.5%. Immediately after landing a Shiver Strike attack, the attacker's melee ability is now suppressed for 0.5 seconds. Oh, okay, so right here, correct me if I'm wrong right now. When you go in for the punch inside of PvP, you're not allowed to punch immediately afterwards. You know, have you been punched by a Shiver Strike Titan? You get double fisted really quick. It's like bam, bam. You know what I mean? With that ability being suppressed, you will not be hit with back-to-back melees. All right, now why not specifically a Prismatic Titan only option? We know they felt the nerf the most when Passive Command's cooldown was moved to 11 seconds. We agree that 11 seconds feels too long. So Passive Command, Echo of Domineering, cooldown reduced from 11 seconds to 4 seconds. Good. Hell yeah. Alas, the Titan buff train approaches its final destination. Yes, there's more to Titans than brute force, but at the same time, one of the pillars of Titan's class identity is physical strength, so they should punch harder than other classes, right? Well, we're increasing the Titan's unpowered melee to be more powerful than a Hunter Warlock's unpowered melee. We're also increasing the likelihood the Titan's power melee will stun enemy combatants. So Titan's unpowered melee increase damage against players by 5%, increase damage against PvE combatants by 20%, and increase stun multiplier. All right, for the most part, I'm always like rocking you know, a charge up, but those moments where charges do fall off, we are the bigger punchers, as we should be. Why the increase in damage inside of PvP? Because Titans should be the ultimate fister class in both PvE and PvP. That's the way it should be. That is the class difference. And here you know, warlocks and hunters have been impeding our territory. Now, unlimited power. We want super abilities to feel like the ultimate expression of a guardian's power, and we're dedicating some time in this release and in future releases to make sure we're delivering on that. For this release, we've primarily focused on making certain roaming supers feel better, particularly in terms of survivability. So Warlock, Storm Trance, increased damage resistance from 53 to now 58%. Chaos Reach, increased damage resistance from 45 to 55%. Fix an issue where Chaos Reach would not jolt at high frame rates. Really? Fix an issue where Chaos Reach would not go through Cinder Shield's guard or Sign's barricade. Now, Nova Warp, increased PvE damage by 20%. Dude, Bungie keeps trying to get us to use Nova Warp in PvE, right? Increased damage resistance from 51 to 58%. Now, any Nova Warp detonation applies volatile regardless of charge duration. Now, what this really boils down to right here, guys, is that you panic pop these supers, there's a good chance, especially if you're like below half health, that you'll get shredded. But this applies to PvP, and it'll give you just enough damage resistance, especially this right here for Chaos Reach, 45 to 55%. That's a huge bump. Now, Hunter, Golden Gun, Marksman, and Deadshot increased damage against base, elite, and mini boss combatants by 30%. Wow. Spectral Blades increased PV damage by 20% and increased damage resistance from 47 to 58%. Dude, this is the second buff handed out to Spectral Blades. It's so bad, man. In PvE, it's so bad. We tried it after the first buff. Even with Gwizdon, it's bad. I don't know how to make it better either. You know, it misses everything, dude. It's the same reason, like, like Blade Dancer had the ability to do, like, if you're like, okay, I'm either short stopping or I'm you know, meleeing past my enemy. Blade Dancer back at D1 still had the other options. So if you wanted to do the one where you threw the waves on the ground, you could do that. Spectral Blades, you just have your one melee option, right? You have your heavy attack, but dude, sometimes you just outright miss the enemy. All right, Titan, Glacial Quake. How the storm can be used while Glacial Quake is active, okay? Twilight Arsenal. Thrown axe projectiles now more consistently tracked toward targets closer to the reticle. Increase Twilight Arsenal's axe relic weapon damage versus combatants by 23%. So this is the relics, the relic weapon damage. So not only is Twilight Arsenal really, really good and does a tremendous amount of damage, but now when you pick up the relics, they're going to be doing even more damage. So well worth the risk of picking them up. Now, Thunder Crash increased base detonation damage by 33%. Dude, we need it, man. We need it, dude. Thunder Crash is just so weak. And this, of course, is going to translate. That damage is going to translate over to Yeet. It needed it, though, guys. When we did our, like, super versus super damage testing, it was depressing looking at Thunder Crash. Now, Fist of Havoc increased damage resistance from 51 to 58%. Changed how the light attacks works under the hood to improve consistency in hitting targets. Slightly increased light attack lunge range and ability to target enemies vertically. Ooh, man. Y'all remember, I don't know if y'all remember or not. Y'all remember when Bottom Tree Striker was the meta? Inside of PvP, it was the meta. It was crazy. That lunge range, as what they're improving right here, was wild. And the super would last so long, dude. So long. You would get killed in one spawn them on the other side of the map, and that same striker Titan would come down and kill you again. You could literally wipe a team twice. For Act 2 Revenant, we're investigating increasing roaming super uptime, so they're more often available when you need them. Stay tuned for that. Wow, so these things are going to get even stronger. Now, Space Lightning and Sharp Knives. For both Stormcallers and Prismatic Warlocks, we want to increase the usability of Lightning Surge. To support this, we are making two changes to it. So Lightning Surge, the Warlock casting Lightning Surge now has 50% damage resistance versus Titan barricades during the launch. Okay, so is this just so you could Lightning Surge through a Titan barricade? Now, casting Lightning Surge now also makes you amplify. That's the biggest thing right here for Lightning Surge. That's huge. That's fantastic. Now, since the launch of the final shape, Prismatic Hunters has been both a highly used and highly effective subclass according to our data. We made some PvP focused changes to Prismatic Hunter abilities during the past season, and we'll continue to monitor its PvP performance and make changes as necessary. In Revenant, we're making the following changes to Prismatic Hunter and other Hunter subclasses that features these abilities. So, Hellfire Spike Prismatic Grenade. Added projectile tracking and aim assist to increase consistency in hitting targets. Threaded Spectre. Increased detonation damage against PvE combatants by 33%, okay? And Swarm Grenade. Swarm Grenade submunitions are now easier for players to shoot down, Swarm grenade submunitions can now chain and detonate other submunitions when destroyed. Now, the PvE side, the Hunter's combination blow melee in particular has been a little too hot. So we're making some changes that make it more about damage than survivability. Combination blow, rescaled healing from a flat 80 HP per kill to 180, 60, and 40 per kill based on the stack count. No longer clears health and shield stun on kill. Remove the 1.5 second internal cooldown on healing. So in some ways, this is a buff though. Instead of you getting the flat 80 HP, okay, you can get even more than that with the higher stack count at 100. So keep that in mind. You could be getting even more. They also removed the 1.5 second internal cooldown on healing. You just have to build up to it. Dude, you guys are so damn dramatic, dude. Hunters, every time. Hunters will read something that is actually a buff and be like, this is terrible. My day is ruined. Hunters have been fucked yet again. Oh, is it the other way? Rescale healing from a flat 80 HP per kill to 180, 60, and then 40. Oh, it goes the other way. Oh, shit. Damn. I don't know, man. No. What's the difference between 80 health and 40 health, you know? On the grand, you know, the grand scheme of things, it's practically the same. I think you guys are gonna be fine, yeah. Yeah, in this case, higher stacks equals less health. Can I also just say this? If you're rocking Caliban's Lyre, dude, everything's dead. Can I just say, like, we rocked one of those builds here recently in our solo build for Onslaught. And dude, Caliban Lyre's Handshake, yeah, it's nice to get some health in there, but it's like everything's dead. I really wish they weren't increasing the power cap. I think that raising the power cap is completely fine. And with it being a longer season, it's good. And also, I think it plays... The reason why they're doing this, everyone's mad about the power cap being increased, but Bungie's doing it probably because we have a contest mode dungeon. There's going to be some level of competition here. And so they want to have some of that means for grinding on the front end to be prepared for contest mode. Now, wrapping up. That's all the combat gameplay team has to share today. We're hard at work on future releases, and we're more optimistic than ever about the future of Destiny and its sandbox. We're excited to take big swings, make dramatic changes, to deliver new innovations. In the short term, we hope you're looking forward to Revenant as much as we are. All right, dude, I'm hyped, man. I'm so hyped. The fact that we as a Titan can now taunt. I can't believe it's actually happening, dude. Like, I love the idea of being... Because I would always play, like, tanks and other MMORPGs. So here we are, actually able to play the role of tank. Now, NERF Ace of Spades Early Access. One of the most iconic weapons of Destiny is joining the NERF arsenal. The NERF limited Destiny to Ace of Spades Blaster replica, now available for early access pre-order. Players who earn the legend title will have access to the pre-order the Ace of Spades Blaster through September 24th at 10 a.m. Pacific. Head over to Bungie store to get the full details on this offer. All right, y'all let me know. I don't know. We may pick it up. Also, we like to acknowledge to credit Tofu Rabbit for their art, which was used in the creation of the Blaster Replica's design. Now, Destiny's first art show. Thank you to everyone that dropped by to our first Destiny 10-year art show in Los Angeles. We had an amazing time during the first night. We hope the pieces in the exhibition have blown your minds. You still have a few more days until September 22nd to see them in person. More information about it and about the next dates in our official website. That's awesome, man. I like this, man. I like this, dude. Looks good, man. I like this. Looks incredible. Oh, that's awesome. Now, Bungie Foundation at TwitchCon and Bounty for Good. Hey, Guardians, a couple quick reminders that your friends at Bungie Foundation. We will be in San Diego this weekend, September 20th through the 22nd at TwitchCon. And we're bringing a properly themed surf and sun emblem with us for those in attendance. Damn it, really? We'll be sharing some clues to our location throughout the weekend, so track us down, make an in-person donation, and get the Magnetosonic Waves emblem. Look at that, dude. Damn it. Yeah, we're not around for that. Make sure you're following the Bungie Foundation on social for updates throughout the weekend. Can't wait to connect with you and meet more light keepers IRL. We've also got another Bungie Bounty for Good coming up soon. Join us on Twitch channel Wednesday, September 25th at 10 a.m. when we once again will be hopping into the Crucible, taking on all challengers and raising money for a good cause. This month, we'll be supporting our amazing partners at Child's Play, who work tirelessly to improve pediatric patients' lives through the power of play. Squad up, take down the Bungie Foundation team, and get your hands on the Bounty of Good emblem. That's fire too. Yeah. 10 years of Orbit music. Sometimes when you log into Destiny 2, something else requires your attention immediately. And by the time you come back, the game, the music in the Orbit has changed to this amazing tune you finally remember. And then you sit there, listening for a while, a long while. If this sounds familiar, we have something for you. This video below covers a decade of Destiny's Orbit music just for your enjoyment. Wise Guardians know they can right click on the video and select loop, so they don't have to worry about this video ever ending. Skywatch increased enemy density to alleviate the time needed to complete the accidental generosity triumph required for the legend title. Enemy density in the Skywatch area in the concert room will be increased when Destiny 2 update 8.0.5.5 arrives Tuesday, September 24th. So next week, if you're still trying to get the legend title, boom, should have more enemies to achieve that. Now, Solstice Forge. Due to an issue, the Solstice Forges remain in some players' inventories despite Solstice being over. This will be fixed on September 24th when Destiny 2 update 8.0.5.5 launches. Now, Artist of the Week, nice. That BR1 here, the CM, that's not Cosmo or DMG. I'm a huge retro game nerd to the point I own an old CRT monitor to hook my vintage consoles using the superior SCART RGB signal. This art of 8 tracks, or one of her replicas, who knows at this point, is inspired by how the games look on those old and glorious radiation emitting screens. And I just love it. Thank you for this. That is really cool, man. All right, as a final note here from Bungie, another week, another tweet that goes by. We hope you enjoyed this first peek into our plans and updates coming with the launch of Revenant. We have a ton more to reveal before October 8th arrives. Next week, we'll be sharing a bit more about the new dungeon and about the new artifact perks, what changes we have planned for PvP, new rewards, and more in the coming weeks. Be patient while we gather all the information. To help with that, please check this mooding inspired ghost. So cute. The S2 community team. Hold on, let me check it like this. Oh. All right. That's it, guys. Juicy stuff, man. I actually was thinking that this week was going to be nothing. All right, guys. That's it, man. Looking good, dude. Looking good. Power levels going up by +10. That's all right. Get ready to do the grind thing. And here's the big reason why that's happening, everybody. It's because we have contest mode. We have a contest mode dungeon rolling out 3 days after the launch of the new season, new episode. And so there's that level increase. At the same time, we had a lot of people in here upset about it. At the same time, many of you, just last week, we have an entire video over here. And in that video, you guys said you wanted the grind back. You wanted the grind back. You wanted the reset. You wanted to be challenged. I don't think 10 levels is much of a challenge, but it's the start of something.
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.